Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, and trade it. What's going on, friends and fam from around the world? How are you all doing on this terrific day? Someone told me at one point that it was Friday, and I believed them. Woo! Oh, yeah. Hope everyone's doing lovely and insightfully exciting. What's going on out there? Javier says hello. JP says happy Friday. Bob says good evening. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock here Central. Got the training room ready to rock out. It's been a good day. Congrats, Bob, for hitting 10 R's on the week. Mike says video on a Friday. You know it. Yeah, man. Hope everyone's doing amazing. What a good week we had. Let's go look at the markets and chat. So my market's over here, my screen. The SPY, we have ourselves what looks to me like a decent bullish continuation. James agreed. He messaged me earlier and said that things still look bullish to him. So, I mean, you got to like that candle. It actually is a perfect inside day. And on a Friday, that's a big deal. So here's the weekly chart. And again, my friends, this is no small order, this gap on this candle right here. We could certainly have some pullback next week. It could last 2 or 3 more weeks. But it is my thought that we certainly go higher from here on the SPY. Been saying that for a while. Here is the Dow Jones ETF, the DIA. Again, it is a retest gap. So certainly we could go higher next week. That's totally possible. But it would also make sense for us to receive or get a small pullback at some point next week. Here's the Qs. And the Qs, I mean, made a new all-time high. So no bearish market here on the Qs. And here is the financial ETF, the FAS, which is fun to trade. I had a trader or two snag this setup right here. So here's the long-term moving averages. Now this was a quicker one, but it was nice, right? So you had a little bit of a black candle. Right, they had the 200 simple moving average right there. So here we go. 200 simple moving average, a gap and go, gap action. And then you get that doji, followed by that doji, bloop, entry above there, stop below the doji. Obviously an aggressive trade, didn't know that would work, but that was a good 3 Rs at 70.18 on the FAS. And we talked about that on Friday and on Monday. So anyway, FAS off of 200, candle looks pretty good here. And I would surmise that if we at some point close above here, that the bullish trend should continue. That would be 70.59. We'll see, but you can bank on if FAS closes above there, should be ready to rock. Questions, concerns, thoughts, or oppositional viewpoints about the broader markets? Otherwise, we will hop into some stocks that we already have registered, ready to go. You guys good? Okay, cool. Well, here's the stocks that we got to check out. Sharon says, Que pasa? The show. That's what's up. All right, eBay. Here we go. EBAY. This was the first on the list for today. And eBay, you got that nice little pullback. Again, this is a pretty decent double bottom. So we'll see exactly how big it might pull back, but right now, looks good. So for those who are in eBay, awesome. Again, you could plan and have kind of a notation that this could occur. If that does occur, obviously it would depend on your time frame if you stay in that trade. If you're a longer term investor or a swing trader, you're probably going to stay in there. And if you're a day trader, not. Right? You're not going to be on eBay on that pullback. So other than that, I don't have anything new on eBay. Here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart looks really good. You got to love all of those candles in a row. That looks nice. So it should be good. That's my thoughts on eBay. Next on the list, we got SSTI Shot. What is this? Shot Spotter. Ooh, look at that weekly chart. Here's the daily. And, oh, wow, look at that pullback. So weird. No one could have seen that occurring. That kind of pullback on SSTI. It did break out just yesterday, and we did actually retest. I like that a lot. And this has had a fun little move on it. Man, look at that. Going from 12 to 36. Wow. Pullback almost to the 10s. Here's your moving averages. Let's put this on the list for Tuesday again and just see if we can come back and snag it. See what we can trade just in case. That would be a pullback that you would want to wait for. But James says he missed that bad boy. Me too. Me too. It all started right here. That one white soldier candle right off the 50. Look at that. I mean, even I could have taken that trade. I didn't, but I do like that pattern. All right. Next on the list, we're already cooking with steam today. PBYI. So I'm only looking at this for one trader and one trader only. That's Bob, and he did let me know that he closed out of this put sale today and just went ahead and took his small loss. So he took a small loss on Puma Biotech. All is good. So good job, Bob. Thanks for the update. I appreciate it. So he took the small loss on that one. He did lock in a really good game with Fossil. Lost small, win big mathematically. Bob made money. And that's what you're looking for. To make those games. Lose small, win big. Oh, yeah. All right, TGOD. The Green Organic Dutchman. My superhero name. I love that trend. We still have plenty of time for it to retest. We'll come back and look at it on Tuesday. The reason I'm not going to just set it up right now, even though it is a little bit of a cheaper stock, the buying power won't be that bad. I'm just going to wait. I do think it'd pull back. Tuesday, if all looks good Tuesday, I'm probably going to set the trade up. Dr. Falcone says, what is his superpower? Making salad, obviously. Green Organic Dutchman, I think. One would hope. Oh, man. That's rich. Okay, I love the volume. I love this trend. Certainly one to keep our eyes on, folks. We're going to come back on it. And again, if everything looks good Tuesday, we'll set that trade up. 3M, I missed it. I missed 3M, but some of you got it. 2 of you got it. Congratulations for those who snagged it. Just a quick 1R into this previous resistance right here. We tried 3M. So I didn't try it. We did set it up and play it back here on a weekly options trade, and it's kind of doing it again. It's working on forming this double bottom right there. So you got a bigger double bottom there, and you had obviously a very teeny tiny one right there with a battalion of soldiers shaping up at the bottom. And yep, just a nice little trade. Would have been a quick one, quick move. So we can move on that on 3M. Next on the list is Roku. And Roku, here's how a few traders are looking at playing Roku. The high of today, $39.75. I'm not going to take this personally, but I know Ricky and I think Brian and a few other traders. I think Brian T is still in on Roku. He should be. He better be. The 100's kind of propping it up. Here's the weekly. And you have a gap up on a weekly, volume coming in, moving averages look good. Yeah. Looks nice to me. The only reason I'm not taking a lot of trades at this point is because we're in a lot. We got triggered into Baidu today as well and Micron Technology. So we got some risks open. So we'll be canceling Snapchat today. And I mean, that will free up a little bit of risk, but I'll look at Roku again on Tuesday. If it hasn't set up, hasn't triggered between now and then, that would almost be too good. Donnie says, is that a pennant pattern? It is indeed. A little bit of a higher low right there, a little bit of a lower high. Bingo, my brother. You nailed it. I'll put it on the list for Tuesday. We'll keep an eye on it. A few traders have that set up, and I think Brian is already in Roku. Looks good to me. Again, I'm just waiting on some things to take. We got some risk. EVHC is a possible 1 hour loss or a possible 1 hour gain. We'll see with some buyout discussion that it has. We'll figure out how that plays out. But, okay, next on the list is Petro Brazil. And PBR, again, a little bit of a cheaper stock. So sometimes for me, it also has to do with buying power. It's not always how much risk we got on the table, but sometimes how many trades can you afford to be in at one time, So Petro Brazil, I'm thinking we could set this trade up right here. Trying to buy it off of this dip. Again, I still think this is a little bit of an overreaction. Getting in above the high of that day. What is this weekly chart? The thing is, I don't know how good of a swing trade this is going to be. It's probably like, well, let me rephrase. It won't be like a bill-paying swing trade. I don't think we can get into this trade and get out like a week or two later. You could. I think it's better like a 3 to 4 month trade. So I won't make that one official for now, but anyone who is planning on playing PBR, or if you requested that, that's how I would. You got a little bit of a morning star. If you want a smidge more conservative, you can wait to get in above the high of this candle. So it'll be 1032 by 892, but take it from there. Ricky says, hey, brother, what's up, my man? Hope you're doing phenomenal. You rock. So that's my thoughts on Petro Brazil. Here's Cloudera, CLDR. And Mr. Squiggles gave me a call the other day, and he let me know what's going to happen on CLDR. He said, if we close above here, we're going to get a killer retest, and then it's just going to slowly chop higher. So I say, cool, Squigs. We're going to put that on the list later in the week. I'll put on the list for Thursday. We'll come back to it and see if and when we can close above that resistance and take it higher. GameStop looks interesting. So GME, Ricky says he crushed it. 14 R's on the day. Wow. Wow. Here, man, let me just give you the computer. I'm just going to leave now. I think you guys can do this yourself. No one needs me anymore. Congrats, buddy. Shutter SFIX. Fantastic job, my friend. So proud of you. Proud of you, proud of you. Did that cruise pay for itself yet, Ricky? Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Getting all those minds together in one place, man, so good. This is another one which is interesting on GameStop. I love this pennant pattern as well. Again, I'm just in a lot of trades. That's the challenge right now. I got a trade or two. We're in NVHC, HPE, CRM, Baidu, and Micron. I'm going to cancel Snapchat, but we still have some of the other ones open. So my hands are kind of tied for what we can trade. But if you're looking at playing GameStop, I would want to close above that 100 before getting in. Short term, probably watch for that pennant pattern. This could also be a potential day trade or swing trade that you consider. So we'll see. All right, what is next on the list? We're flying today. We're making short work. CMI. So I did look at this one yesterday, and we were looking for CMI. Oh, boy. Oh, man. 475, stop by. I'm at 4.3 R's for the month. No Ricky Cadan, but I'm doing my best. So that allows me to take some trades. But again, with the trades that I have right now, I could go, if I lose all of them, I'm go back to losing on the month. So I got to lock in profits. That's what it's all about. If you want to play CMI, this is the way you certainly could. I do like this one white soldier candle. There's a little bit of resistance right here. If you want to do a $4.75 limit buy contingent on the stock price, that's probably what I would do. Meaning you can put into your broker if the stock is above 144.97, then do a limit buy with the call options. So something like that. Ricky, I think you did that SFIX trade while you were sleeping, right? Is that what happened? You just got in and let it do its thing? Because Ricky's back in Australia now. He says, yep. Sleeping and making money. You figured it out, man. You figured it out. Here's another one. Raytheon. Another stock that's about to surge. Whew, that is a good setup. My biggest challenge is I just got to lock in more profit before I can trade some stuff, guys. That's my only. But here's the thing. I can look at 100 stocks a day. You all know I'm not going to trade all of them. There might just be one person looking at each one of these stocks. Plus, if you trade options, right, you have a lot more buying power open to you. And, of course, if you're Sharon and Donnie Baldwin, you got all the money in the world. So I like this setup at 214.98 for a little bit of a breakout. Today is also a new white soldier. Falconium says market betting on the North Korea summit won't happen or go well. Possibly. I mean, the thing is, it just looks good. I mean, got this nice little higher move, this relative low. Mila says, will it go up or down? I don't know. But if it pops out of here, I'd be more bullish than bearish since that is the direction of the trend. I know Ricky's got that set up as well. Jade says, what can go wrong? Yeah, a North Korea summit. That's it. All is fine. Nothing to worry about. Even though, let me just come out and publicly say, every time that there was any kind of North Korean news, I truly cared zero. Folks, North Korea hitting the U.S. with a nuclear bomb is like me going over to China and trying to sling, I mean, whatever these are called, slingshots. Taking a rock and putting a slingshot. I mean, it's irrelevant. North Korea is such a small, that's like Statesboro, Georgia, getting up in arms and trying to do something. I mean, it's not going to happen. Not a big deal. I've never been worried about North Korea starting a third world war. That's just my opinion, though. My opinion. James says, China, yes. North Korea, no. Exactly. Yeah. Rob says, look at a map. Look at a map, guys. It's smaller. It's like smaller than New Jersey. Not a big deal. Anyway, that one still looks nice. Here is ZS. ZS. And again, that's not a political statement. I don't try to make political statements. I just personally feel that it's a non-event. It's nothing to be free of. The whole time there was coming up with, like, every time they'd have a North Korea thing, it was just, all right, guys, buy the dip. I mean, not a big deal. ZS, speaking of buying the dip, this is a gap out of consolidation. I'm going to draw this, and we're going to play that right there. I don't know when we'll play it. We'll come back and look at that on Wednesday or something. Again, it all depends on how much risk exposure you have, how well your month is doing. Can depend on a lot of that. Ricky, how much are you at the month? If you had 14, I think you're at 18 hours for the month. Is that right? Because I'm about to tell you where you can't go below. I'm about to give you your benchmark. You're at 17. Okay. So Ricky he's unallowed to go below 12 hours for the month. Is that right, guys? Is that where we're going to put Ricky at? We don't want to see any more legs being waxed. So if you lose 5 hours between now and then, you're done for the month. Lock it in. That 12 would be a solid number. Solid. Proud of you, man. High fives all around. We looked at FAS already. Here's Morgan Stanley. And Morgan Stanley on the daily chart, nothing yet. Morgan Stanley. I have the opinion, though, that this is going to be a good one to watch. For one frequent trader point, can anyone read my mind and tell me why I think Morgan Stanley and some of the financials are good ones to keep their eyes on? Bullish. But you have to read my mind, though. You could probably come up with a great answer, but is it the exact one I'm thinking of? Can I do a little bit of whatever that word is? Telepathy? Interest rates? Nope. Federal Reserve? Nope. You guys are thinking smart. Think small pea brain, Newsom. Think little brain Newsom, guys. You're thinking way too smart right now. Tone it down. Okay. Sharon's just starting to double bottom, getting close. Bouncing off the 200, getting close, getting close. We do have some really good support. Here's my thought. Is the mind reading was it barely broke support right there. Just a little lower than last time. And a bunch of people shorted there, and then they got trapped. That was what was in my mind. So I'm looking at this, and we're going to go to Goldman Sachs in just a moment, and Mr. Squiggles was on the ball with Goldman. You're going to see that in a moment. But Morgan Stanley, I mean, some of the financials, it just barely went lower. You know, some people had some stops there. They got trapped. You know, some people went bearish. They got trapped. Let me go look at Goldman Sachs. And Goldman Sachs was a beautiful play off the 100 on a weekly. I mean, the other day, I saw in the sky one wing pigeon with one eye took that trade off the 100 on Goldman Sachs. Here's the hourly chart, and I deleted the lines, but I looked at it earlier this morning, and the analysis was pretty simple, semi-straightforward. We wanted to see this happen, and this happened. That was really it. So if you're going to go back to Monday's recording, that's really what we were saying was going to happen. Short term, that's a nice move. Remember, you don't have to have a lot of shares to make that money work for you. That was a phenomenal gap right there on Wednesday. I still got the spread, 222.15. I still have at this point, this is just going to be an exit price. It's going to be a contingent. So if the stock gets down there, I'm just going to exit it. I'm not going to unravel, just exit, move on. But Goldman Sachs, I mean, has a one white soldier off of the 100 on a weekly chart. So I'm not saying it's going to bounce here, but if it would, or if it does, this is likely the scenario down here of where it will. And this could be an opportunity for other traders to do put sales or bull put spreads on Goldman Sachs again, maybe even longer term. So just something to consider. It's at a decent price, and you might be able to snag something on it. Cool. All right. What's next? Bank of America, BAC. That needs to be their jingle. Customer subscriptions go through the roof as soon as they make that their official jingle. We're in a distribution phase. I know many of you have shares of Bank of America. I do not. I'm not a big bank fan. Probably stupid of me, but not a fan of the big banks. You got a one white soldier on the weekly. I believe that there is the 50 EMA here on the weekly. Let me pull that up really quick. Computer's running a little slow. Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news is there was a time in the distant past that we got close to the 100 and bounced with a one white soldier before. So we'll see. Dr. Falconium sold all of his bank stocks. Whoa. And the market is still up, folks. Wow. Big deal. Falco selling all those shares and the market didn't tank. That's good to know. So Bank of America doing its thing. Let's see. Next on the list is gold. I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. James says, why, Doc? Yeah, why'd you sell, Falco? People need to know. Up big, locking in all those gains. So here's the thing on gold. I still have a bull put spread on it. It is not exciting right now. I also have a long put just to protect things. So I'm just waiting this one out. The put that I purchased very well might expire worthless, and then I'm going to keep an eye on this pennant pattern. And if the pennant pattern breaks down, I'm going to unravel, but it has to get below 121.41. So right now, the bull put spread on gold, I'm just holding steady. Nothing really happening on that. Here's silver, SLV. Silver, chilling. I had a trader ask me the other day, should he sell a covered call on silver? And my reply was, yeah. It's at the 200. You got a little bit of a resistance. I think that's a good spot. And then I mentioned if it closes above the high of those candle, that would be a good place to buy back that covered call. But silver, still don't have any position on the ETF. It's actually been a few weeks since I bought some physical silver. I need to do that at some point soon, but we will see. That's really about it. James says $18 here, so you got it at 18. I hear you, man. It's been a little bit since I've owned some, since I bought some physical silver. I probably need to do that at some point soon. I'm just about to pay the tax bill. I think that's what it is. I've been putting that bad boy off until August. That free 4-month extension. Yes, please. Sign me up. Let me try to make an extra 5 or 6%. There's that huge monthly triangle pattern. At some point, I'm letting everyone here know, silver will get exciting again. I don't know what will cause it to happen, but it will. And it could be even a short burst. Short burst of excitement and then back to being boring. Or it could break down. That's also possible. We'll see. Silver, not exciting. Long term, usually. Long term. Mila says that chart looks like cryptos. It does, doesn't it? You're absolutely right. It does indeed. Except this time, I did not buy right here. I didn't buy right there, folks. You'd be proud of me. I learned my lesson this time. Woo! In fact, I bought here and sold here, and then bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, and now I'm loading up. Loading up on cryptos. About to meet with some more investors soon. Qualcomm, QCOM. Sharon says, good job, Jeremy. Thank you. Finally got it right. There's going to be another one, though. Don't worry, folks. We'll have another opportunity. Someone told me that the market was open on Monday. So if that's the case, more trades coming. I like the setup on Qualcomm. Double bottom, close over the neckline. Nice little pennant pattern. Last time I saw this, I was going to set up a trade, and I remember it gapping, and I canceled it because we're going to miss it. Looks like some type of wave 4 or 5 is about to begin. So if it trades down and trades sideways, that's one thing. However, with this candle, if it breaks above here, you could actually have a stop and just play this doji like that. That doge. Give me that doge. So this is what I would do on Qualcomm if I was playing it. I'm not going to take that one personally, only because I can't be in everything. It's already made a decent move. Here's the weekly on Qualcomm. And again, you got those long-term moving averages. So that kind of break above that would be kind of the entry price there. All right. Here's BZUN. Sharon, you still have all those shares of Bazoon? BZUN, nice looking trends. This is the one that gapped out of consolidation back over here on the 6th. And I was telling everybody, buy some shares. Those gaps out of consolidation, they are legit. You have this bullish gap and go right here on earnings. It kind of looks like we're getting a little bit of a retest now. And the 64.81 seems to be that it's already kind of reached its target. Meaning this is really the slowdown. 64.81 is not going to be a reason for it to stop. Simply meaning if it takes out the high, this recent high, I mean, it'll just keep going. So BZUN, if it pulls down to the 20, great. But most of the market, it looks like we pull down to the 10 and we're going to go higher. Maybe we get down to the 20, but right now it doesn't seem that's going to happen. So if you're still in, I don't think I looked at, did I look at JP Morgan? I don't think I did. If you're still in, BZUN, just keep holding. I think I skipped JP Morgan. Jaden's in this one. James is in this one. Lambo's in this one. A few people are in JP Morgan. It looks good. It's just distributing. So Jaden, that covered call, boring. Yawnsville. Nothing happened. That bounced off the 200 though. So good. Hope you bought another share or 10 off the 200. Nice little distribution, letting it do its thing. No big deal. AXON. What do we got? AXON. What a gap this one had. Just straight into that 200 symbol. Look at that volume. Got a resistance like 582. This is, I mean, it's an interesting move. It's obviously a smidge volatile. A smidge. It goes from 15 to 18, from 24 to 7. How would you have felt right there? Brutal. Getting wrecked. Oh, man. I bet it's a biotech, too. Look at that. Biotechnology. Whew. I love to day trade those, but swing trading them, Rule number 1, no. LUB, what do we got here? Oh, it's supposed to be LUV. Love. I will look at, nope, I won't let that, what an ugly chart. Ugh. That is hideous. All right, here's Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines, we'd love to have you. It's trying, team. It's trying. I still think it's going to go a little bit lower, unfortunately. If you have shares, you got dividends recently. Falco is out of his protective puts. This is the end of the week candle. And, I mean, again, it's just at a massive support. It's going to take its time to do anything exciting. Do your dividends. Let it sit there. Forget that you own Southwest for a while. If it breaks through support, buy some more protective puts. Sell those puts to buy another share or two at some level and just leave Southwest alone until it has a really good move. Because right now, it's just resting. If and when you can get a good pop, it should be fun. All right, here's Budweiser, BUD, and guess what this thing's been doing? Nothing. I do have a covered call on it, which will expire worthless barely next Friday. It's only $35 out of the money. Close. It's going to be close. I mean, Budweiser's a long-term play for most people. It's at the 100 on a monthly chart. It does look a little ominous with that head and shoulders pattern, but seriously, guys, if Budweiser goes to 40, I'll buy some more. I'll pick up another share or two. It's not a company that I'm really concerned about their performance long term. I'd rather be an owner than a buyer. So, Budweiser. That's really all I got. Falconium says, Bud and the Organic Green Man. I see you. ConAgra Brands, CAG. One of the few food and processing companies that's still holding its head up. Most of them, like Campbell's and Kraft Heinz, Dean Foods, have just been getting shredded. So ConAgra trading sideways, very sideways. I do like that candle today, though. Here's the weekly. I'd be bullish to neutral. Put sales, bull put spreads. If you own the shares longer term, you're getting dividends. It's not exciting, but I do kind of like the gap up today. Today is a 1 penny away from a perfect Marubozu candle. Granted, it's not really at a location that is super prominently placed, in my opinion. Looks a little bit like a retest gap. It's 1 penny away from a perfect one. So I would say let it dip and then look to buy that dip on ConAgra. Next on the list is AMD. We got to celebrate a trader today. I don't know if you bought back your puts, your covered call at market open or not, Brian. If you did, congrats, but I don't think you did. Either way, getting called away up here, getting exercised, congrats. JL says, what's a Marubozu candle? Marubozu candle is a candle that has the open, low, high, and the close are the exact same numbers. No wicks whatsoever. The strongest candle that can form. They are rare and they are powerful. Yeah, no wick. As soon as it opens, boom, and then it buys all day until it closes. Opens and closes. All the buying and all the selling just happens all day long. So AMD looks pretty decent. Brian got called away for a profit. Congratulations, sir. Here's the weekly charts, and it looks nice. Most likely, AMD does something like this and then continues higher. That is my thought, at least. Maybe I'm incorrect, but what a great buy off of that $10 price range. Good Googa Mooga. That was beautiful. Sold some puts down there. Felt good playing that channel. Real simple. From here, though, a lot of white candles. This is definitely a wave 3. Let the wave 4 kind of take place. Let it chop around. But if and when, mostly when, AMD breaks out of here, I'll be keeping an eye on it, but that thing could really move. So that's AMD. We got 3 more. Here's Amazon. And Amazon today down a little bit, 0.3%. Here's the daily chart on Amazon. And again, this pink line is just kind of what I think is going to happen. I don't know if it retests that big or not, but if it does, I'll be ready. We mostly and probably are just going to pull back to the 20. But this pattern is just going to help me understand that, hey, this is a good time to rest. Let the flag pattern come in. Let it chill out a little bit. And then buy the dip. So here's the weekly chart. So you do have a retest gap on the weekly. So I'm pretty sure Amazon's going to pull back a little more. I wouldn't sell any naked calls or anything personally, but on Amazon. If you have enough shares to do a covered call with, number 1, congratulations for you. And number 2, this will be a decent spot to do so. But that's all I can say on that one. Amazon, that's it. Next on the list is Macro Technology. Macro. We are in bullish on Macro Technology. I like the volume. I like the entry. Here's what I'm going to do is just kind of draw. This is what I think it's going to do from here. Most likely. And my note. If MU doesn't, oh boy, what's going on? Oh, geez. Okay. If MU doesn't close above a new all-time high before earnings, I won't hold it over earnings. That's just, again, for this particular swing trade. My buddy Brad says sold June week 4 51.50 put this morning. June 51.50. Nice. Nice. Right on, man. I feel like you've played MU before. All right, there we go. The St. Louis Crusher. That's a great nickname. So there's a few of you in put sales. Believe it or not, I am not right now. Weird. Strange. I almost got into one the other day, but I did not. But if we do close above an all-time high, I really will consider holding this one over earnings. Robert Falco has a put sale. It traded down to the 20. Nice dip buying opportunity on the MU. Very cool stuff. Next on the list, Momo. This is, how do I say this nicely without hurting the stock's feelings? This stock is going to crush. Crush. Man. This is such a beautiful chart. I mean, look at this gap. Boop, right out of there, and then it does it again. A little bit of a retest gap. Momo. Look at this weekly chart. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's such a good gap on the weekly. A weekly gap. When the market was, it didn't even do anything. I mean, that was not even a good week that week.
I'm a classic, yeah. Look at me, no candles on the screen. I'm a classic, yeah.
Killing it. That's how I feel about Momo right now. She's gone with the wind, ladies and gentlemen. Gone with the wind. Ricky said, should have held my $25 calls. Hey, man, it's okay. You didn't know. But you should have gotten back into calls on that gap. So you should have done. But we can't be in everything, Ricky. I would simply say if you're playing this one, buy the dip. IQ, no excuse. None. December, my man. We're not even in mid-June yet. It's not even summer. It's still spring in the Northern Hemisphere. You had winter calls. There's a whole season. Oh, man. The NFL is going to start and almost finish by the time your calls are going to expire. It's hard, man. Holding these trades is tough. I was telling a trader earlier today, one of the best things you can do to build the muscle of holding is the first time you feel like selling, don't. That's the best thing you could probably do. So when you have that initial urge, like that instinct, like, oh, I should sell, just don't do it. Just hold out. It might not be the right decision, right? Maybe it actually ends up coming down and you could have gotten out for a higher price, but there will be that one trade. There will be that one that starts working. And what will happen is the second time you're going to feel like selling, the trade's going to work even better. And then you're probably going to ask me, and I'm going to tell you, hold. And then go, oh no. And you're going to have to hold a little bit more. Push through that uncomfortable zone. Man, oh man. Momo. So anyway, buy the dip, buy the pullback, trend is bullish. If you want a bullish trend, that's Momo right there. Ricky says, I'm still in SFIX. Tell me what to do. What's your expiration? Give me some deets. Give me some details. Stitch Fix. They had earnings today. Let me go read their earnings really quick. Up 26%. The challenge is that's just a massive gap for one day. Massive. You have July. All right. Well, in July, December, you know, there's a difference. That's all I'm saying, man. There's a tiny difference. Don't worry, guys. Ricky told me I'm allowed to pick on him all the time. It's okay. They crushed expectations with its fiscal third quarter. Quarterly revenue jumped 29% year over year to $316 million, helped by a 30% increase in active clients to 2.7 million. The bottom line translated net income 9.8. Wow. Stitch Fix. So the thing is, I know what this is. It's kind of like Trunk Club. It's like it pretty much sends you clothes. I kind of agree with James. I mean, this gap you have to hold, but since July, not super long term, I would peel off most of, at least 75% of my position so that you can do some math over the weekend, Rick, and lock in 10R guaranteed on this one. So so you do 10R, maybe that's only one or two contracts that you can hold, but lock in 10R, and even if the other two go to zero, then you can still get 10R. And then just hold the other ones. Classes, you guys and gals leave me in stitches. Hey. Mila said they also announced expansion in their kids sector. Nice, nice. So that's a beautiful gap. It's on phenomenal volume. I do like it. It's not a gap on a consolidation or anything, but it's not a gap on a weekly, but it's good. I mean, there's tons and tons of volume. So we probably gap up. I mean, most likely we gap up, trade down a little bit Monday, Tuesday, something like this, and then eventually go higher. I do love the gap, though. We will be playing this one. I'll put it on the list for Monday. We'll look at it again. SFIX. Let's go review our Baidu trade, HPE trade, CSCO trade, EVHC trade. So there is some news about EVHC that seems they're in talks of a potential buyout. And if it doesn't happen, obviously the stock could drop. If it does happen, it could go higher. There's some insane implied volatility for options for next Friday. So it's hard for me to say if I hold or get out of this one, but I'm going to hold it, see what happens. Implied volatility, investors need to pay close attention. HCA makes final bid to buy Envision. Yeah, it looks like it should happen. But again, if it doesn't work, then you could get some breakdowns for sure. And, you know, if it doesn't, it could go to zero, get stopped out, but I think it's almost kind of worth the risk a little bit. The implied volatility is monumental for any of my option sellers. But just, again, understand the risks. There's no such thing as on a healthcare, health stock, right? No such thing as free ride. We did get triggered into Baidu today. And this is one of those trades where, again, I honestly don't know if this trade works or not. I want you all to know I did not want to take this trade, but I had to. My body, my internals were screaming, "You're going to lose on this trade." And I still might. I still might lose. But I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I have to take the trade. Because, look at this drawing. I drew this 2 days ago, guys. 2 days ago I drew this. So it's like, I got to, you know? So we set it up. We got filled today. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We're going to give that 2 to 3 days, and then I'll move up the stop. Hopefully it works. We'll find out. That's Baidu. I was wrong about HPE. I said that we would figure out by the end of the day if this trade works. And, we're up on it, which is nice. But I don't see anything monumental, so maybe it's going to happen later. James is picking up my niece. Good weekend, all. You too, sir. Have a good one. So this is Hewlett Packard. We're on that trade. Nike. I figure I will leave Nike open, but I'll be canceling that pretty soon. I just don't think it's going to pull back that far. QD was down 4%. Still could trigger. I'll keep it open for a few more days. If it doesn't trigger, we'll cancel. And then Snapchat. We can cancel Snap. We can cancel Snapchat. Barrel, 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 barrel. So go ahead and cancel Snap. I tried. It did retest. It just didn't get me. Cancel Snap. Don says, have a good weekend. You too, Don. I'll be calling you in about 27 minutes. All right. Cancel Snap. Gonna come in here. Cancel. Cancel. And CSCO. CSCO, I still dig it actually. Because you got this 100 right there. I kind of dig this trade. A little aggressive. Honestly, if it doesn't trigger by Tuesday, I'll end up canceling that trade. It looks like it might not. But we still got that one open as well. And we'll look at that on Tuesday. CSCO. Baidu. HPE. JL wants to look at PVH. PVH. Apparel Corporation. I'm assuming you're already in because this thing is moving. It did close above, this is the daily chart right here, close above a pretty giant upper shadow. Solid trend. Pretty positive. This is the all-time high. It's never been higher. Pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, so I would just look to buy the dip on this one if you're not in. It's already made its move. If you're not in, you have missed that boat. So give it about another month or two, let it rotate, potentially back into 162, 163, and then snack it up there. On PVH. LPSN. LPSN and then LOXO, and that'll probably be it for the afternoon. JL says, thanks. Sure, man. Live person. Jeez, these techs. Wow. Wow. That's been open forever. I'm not in this trade, but I would peel off some profits pretty soon on live person. Monday at open. Or sell a covered call or get into a collar. I wouldn't short it, but I would do a collar of some kind. Let that one take a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a rest. Just a little bit. James says, I did. I figured. Makes sense. I love it. Take some profits. Good job. LOXO gapped up, retested, had a beautiful move. Obviously a place to sell right there. Let this one trade sideways a smidge longer. Let that 20 come up. And then look to play it bullish. I mean, the trend is still nice. It's a biotech, medical research, healthcare company. The weekly chart looks pretty toasty, but it's up there. So this stock was $12 3 years ago. So it's moved. It's moved. I like the trend. Yeah, I would just say that 20, let that 20 prop it up, give it a little bit of time, let it kind of churn and burn, and then make some magic. Looking nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the free week is the week after next. Mentorship Monday will be on the 18th of June for the free week. Until then, what's next Monday? What do you want to look at? Here's what I got on the list. Anything else? That's all for me right now. What you guys look at on Monday? Square, Mickey D's, L Brands. Got it? Sweet. Well, my friends, the weekend is upon us. Have a good weekend. Enjoy. Be awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep enriching lives. Rest. I'm flying. I land in San Diego in about 12 hours from now. 12 hours. 16 hours from now. It's right around the corner. I'll be waking up about 12 hours from now. So, yeah, folks, have a good one. You're amazing. And until next time, love life, and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.